My name is Daniel. I'm 42 years old. I live in Austin, Texas. I've been married to my wife Lauren for 18 years. We have 2 children, Tyler who is 15 and Hannah who is 12. On paper, we had a good marriage. Not perfect. No marriage is perfect. But good. Stable. We built a life together. A house in the hills. 2 cars. A retirement account. College funds for the kids. The kind of life that takes decades to build and seconds to destroy. I thought we were happy. I was wrong. It started on a Sunday night in September. Lauren came home from a girls' weekend in Dallas. She seemed different. Distant. She didn't kiss me when she walked in. Didn't ask about the kids. Didn't even look at me. Everything okay? I asked.
Fine.
Just tired. She went straight to the bedroom. Closed the door. I heard the shower run for 45 minutes. I didn't think much of it. People get tired. Girls' weekends are exhausting. I made dinner, helped Tyler with his homework, read Hannah a bedtime story. Normal Sunday. But the next week, everything changed. Lauren started staying late at work. She's a marketing director. Her job is demanding. I never questioned it. She started going to the gym 3 times a week. She bought new clothes. New underwear. Things she hadn't bought in years. I told myself she was having a midlife crisis. Something women go through. Something we would work through together. Then she sat me down on a Friday night. The kids were at friends' houses. She made my favorite dinner. Steak. Mashed potatoes. The good wine. This feels fancy, I said. What's the occasion? Lauren didn't smile. She poured herself a glass of wine. Drank half of it in one sip. Daniel, we need to talk about our marriage. My stomach tightened. Okay. Let's talk. She took a breath. Looked at her hands. Looked at me. I love you. I do. But I'm not happy. I haven't been happy for a long time. I didn't speak. I let her continue. We've been together since I was 22. I never got to explore. Never got to be with other people. Never got to know myself outside of being your wife. My heart started beating faster. What are you saying? I'm saying I want an open marriage. The words hung in the air. Heavy. Cold. An open marriage. Yes. You want to sleep with other people. I want us both to have the freedom to explore. It's not about replacing you. It's about expanding what we have. I put down my fork. I wasn't hungry anymore. Who is he? Lauren blinked. What? Who is the man you want to sleep with? Because this isn't coming from nowhere. You didn't wake up one day and decide you wanted an open marriage. Someone put this in your head. Someone you already have in mind. She looked away. That was all the confirmation I needed. His name is Chris. He works in my building. We've been talking. For a few months. Nothing happened. I swear. But I have feelings for him. And I don't want to sneak around. I want to be honest with you. I stood up. Walked to the window. Stared at the backyard. The treehouse I built for Tyler. The garden Lauren planted. The swing set Hannah had outgrown. 18 years. 3 houses. 2 kids. 1 life. And she wanted to throw it away for a man she met at work. I need time to think, I said. I know. Take all the time you need. I didn't take time. I couldn't. The thought of Lauren with another man, in our bed, in our house, in her car, it consumed me. I didn't sleep. I didn't eat. I just walked around the house like a ghost, staring at the life I thought we had. 3 days later, I told her my answer. No. Lauren's face hardened. No. No. I didn't sign up for an open marriage. I signed up for a marriage. 1 man. 1 woman. For life. That was the deal. People change, Daniel. Marriages change. Then we work on it. Together. Counseling. Date nights. Whatever it takes. But I will not share my wife with another man. She stared at me. Cold. Calculating. If you say no, I'll do it anyway. I'm not asking for permission. I'm telling you what's going to happen. You can either accept it, or we can get a divorce. My chest felt like it was caving in. You would throw away 18 years for a man you've known for a few months. I'm not throwing anything away. I'm trying to save myself. I've spent my whole life being what everyone else wanted. Your wife. The kid's mother. The good daughter. I'm done. I want to be happy. I didn't recognize the woman standing in front of me. She looked like Lauren. Sounded like Lauren. But the eyes were different. Harder. Colder. The eyes of a stranger. I need to talk to someone, I said. Talk to whoever you want. My mind is made up. I walked out of the house. Drove to my mother's house. She lived 20 minutes away. My sister Rachel lived in the same neighborhood. They were my family. My blood. They would understand. I was wrong about that too. My mother, Carol, made me tea. My sister, Rachel, sat across from me. I told them everything. The open marriage request. Chris from work. Lauren's ultimatum. The coldness in her eyes. When I finished, I expected anger. Outrage. Sympathy. I didn't get any of that. Carol looked at Rachel. Rachel looked at Carol. Something passed between them. Something I didn't understand. Mom. Carol sighed. Put down her teacup. Daniel, I need to tell you something. What? Lauren called me. Before you came over. She told me everything. My blood went cold. She told me about the open marriage. About Chris. About how unhappy she's been. And Daniel. I think she's right. I couldn't breathe. What did you say? I said that marriage is complicated. That people change. That you can't expect someone to be the same person they were at 22. And that maybe this is what she needs to be happy. I turned to Rachel. You knew about this too. Rachel nodded. Lauren called me yesterday. She's been miserable for years. Daniel. You work too much. You're not present. You take her for granted. I love you, but you're not blameless here. I stood up. The tea spilled. I didn't care. She wants to sleep with another man. And you're both okay with that. We are not okay with it, Carol said. We are just saying that marriage is about compromise. If you love her, you'll find a way to make this work. Make what work? Her cheating on me with your blessing. Don't be dramatic, Rachel said. It's not cheating if you agree to it. That's the whole point of an open marriage. It's honest. It's consensual. I looked at my mother, my sister, the two women who raised me, who changed my diapers, who taught me right from wrong, who stood beside me at my wedding. And I saw strangers. I can't believe this, I said. Daniel, sit down, Carol said. Let's talk about this calmly. No. I'm done talking. Lauren wants an open marriage. You both support her. Fine. I know where I stand now. I walked out, drove home, sat in my garage for an hour. My wife wanted to sleep with another man. My mother and sister were cheering her on. My children were asleep upstairs, unaware that their family was falling apart. I had never felt so alone. The next morning, I called Lauren. I've made a decision. Tell me. Fine. Open marriage. Do what you want. I won't stop you. Silence. Then, really? Really? But there are rules. No men in our house. No overnights. No involving the kids. And I don't want to hear about it. Not the names. Not the details. Nothing. That seems fair. It's not fair. Nothing about this is fair. But it's what you want. So you get what you want. I hung up before she could respond. I didn't tell her about my plan. I didn't tell her that while she was opening our marriage, I was opening my eyes. I didn't tell her that I had already called a lawyer. I didn't tell her that I had already started moving money. I didn't tell her that I was done being the good husband, the good son, the good brother. They had all betrayed me. My wife, my mother, my sister, and they had no idea what was coming. The next 6 months were the longest of my life. Lauren dove into the open marriage like a woman possessed. She went out 3, sometimes 4 nights a week. New dresses. New perfume. New confidence. She came home at midnight, sometimes later, smelling like expensive cocktails and someone else's cologne. I never asked where she went. I never asked who she was with. I didn't want to know. But I watched. I listened. I learned. The first thing I did was hire a forensic accountant. Her name was Diane. She was 55 years old, built like a linebacker, and had no patience for cheating spouses. I've seen this 100 times, she said, opening Lauren's financial records on her laptop. Woman opens the marriage. Man thinks he's being progressive. 6 months later, she's cleaned out the joint accounts and is living in a studio apartment with a futon. That's not going to happen to me. Good. Because I'm going to show you how to protect yourself. Diane walked me through every dollar, every account, every credit card. She showed me how to freeze assets, how to document spending, how to build a case for financial infidelity, which, in Texas, could impact the divorce settlement. Start moving money into accounts she can't touch. Not all of it. Enough to keep you safe if she tries to drain you. I followed her instructions to the letter. The second thing I did was document everything. Not just the financials. Everything. I installed a hidden camera in the living room, legal in Texas because it was my home. I kept a journal of every night Lauren went out, every time she came home late, every time she forgot to pick up the kids from school because she was stuck in traffic. I didn't confront her. I didn't argue. I just documented. She thought I was accepting the arrangement. She thought I was being understanding, supportive, progressive. She had no idea. The third thing I did was the hardest. I started rebuilding myself. I had spent 18 years being Lauren's husband. I had forgotten how to be Daniel. Just Daniel. Not a father. Not a provider. Not a doormat. I joined a gym. Not the fancy one where Lauren went with her friends. A hard gym. The kind with chalk on the floors and old men who didn't talk. I lifted weights until my arms shook. I ran until my lungs burned. I lost 20 pounds. Gained muscle. Started looking in the mirror and seeing someone I didn't recognize. Someone harder. Someone colder. Someone who would never be betrayed again. I also started therapy. Not because I wanted to. Because I needed to. Dr. Ellis was a retired Army psychologist who didn't do soft talks and participation trophies. You're angry, he said in our first session. Yes. Good. Anger is fuel. But fuel without direction burns everything. You need a target. My target is my wife. And my mother. And my sister. That's 3 targets. Pick one. I thought about it. My wife. The others are just collateral. Then focus on your wife. Let the others watch. Let them see what happens when they betray family. I left his office with a plan. Not a revenge plan. A survival plan. Focus on Lauren. Protect the kids. Build my life. Let the consequences handle themselves. But I knew the consequences would be brutal. And I was okay with that. 3 months into the open marriage, I met someone. Her name was Natalie. She was a paralegal at my lawyer's firm. 34 years old. Divorced. No children. She had dark hair, green eyes, and a smile that didn't apologize for existing. I wasn't looking for her. She found me. I was in Susan's office, reviewing divorce documents. Natalie brought in coffee. Introduced herself. Asked if I needed anything else. No, thank you, I said. She didn't leave. She stood in the doorway, looking at me. I know who you are, she said. I know about your wife. I know about the open marriage. And I know you're planning to leave her. I looked at Susan. Susan shrugged. Natalie is discreet. And she's been where you are. Where's that? Natalie walked closer. Sat in the chair across from me. My ex-husband wanted an open marriage too. Except he didn't ask. He just did it. I found out from a friend who saw him at a hotel with his assistant. I'm sorry. Don't be. I divorced him. Took half of everything. And now I work for the best divorce lawyer in Austin. She smiled. I'm doing fine. We started talking. First about the case. Then about other things. Books. Movies. The best place to get barbecue in Austin. The worst place to buy a used car. She was smart. Funny. Easy to be around. 3 weeks later, I asked her to dinner. A real dinner. Not coffee. Not a work meeting. A date. She said yes. I told Lauren I was going out with a friend from the gym. She didn't ask questions. She was too busy getting ready for her own date with Chris, the man who had started all of this. That night, Natalie and I sat at a small Italian restaurant downtown. We talked for 4 hours. About our childhoods. Our divorces. Our fears. Our hopes. At the end of the night, she kissed me. Soft. Gentle. Nothing like Lauren's kisses. I'm not looking for a relationship, she said. Neither am I. Then what are we doing? I don't know, but I don't want to stop. She smiled. Kissed me again. We'll figure it out. Over the next 3 months, Natalie and I became something I hadn't expected. Partners. Not just lovers. Partners. She helped me review legal documents. I helped her fix the sink in her apartment. She came to Tyler's baseball games. I helped her pick out a new car. The kids loved her. Tyler asked if she was my girlfriend. I said yes. Hannah asked if she was going to be their new mom. I said no, but I didn't say never. Natalie never pushed. Never rushed. She let me move at my own pace. Lauren, meanwhile, was oblivious. She was too busy with Chris. Too busy with her new life. Too busy to notice that her husband was slipping away. She noticed eventually. They always do. It was a Tuesday night. Lauren came home early. No date, no excuses. I was in the kitchen making dinner. Natalie was supposed to come over later. The kids were in their rooms. We need to talk, Lauren said. About what? About us. About this marriage. About the fact that you're never home anymore. I turned off the stove. Faced her. I'm home every night. You're the one who's never here. That's different. The open marriage was your idea. No. The open marriage was your idea. I just stopped fighting it. She crossed her arms. The old defensive posture. You've been distant. Cold. You don't touch me anymore. You don't even look at me. I'm giving you what you wanted. Freedom. Space. The chance to explore. I didn't want to lose you. Then you shouldn't have asked to sleep with other men. She flinched. Good. Who are you seeing? She asked. Excuse me. You're seeing someone. I can tell. You have that look. The same look Chris had when he was cheating on his wife. I laughed. A cold, hollow sound. You're accusing me of cheating? In an open marriage? This isn't funny, Daniel. No. It's not. You're right. I am seeing someone. Her name is Natalie. She's kind. She's honest. And she's never asked me to let her sleep with other people. Lauren's face went red. Then white. Then red again. Who is she? That's not your business. I'm your wife. Are you? Because I thought we were just roommates, partners, co-parents. That's what you wanted, right? A marriage in name only. I never said that. You didn't have to. Your actions said it for you. She stormed out of the kitchen. I heard the bedroom door slam. Then I heard her crying. I didn't follow her. I didn't comfort her. I finished making dinner. I ate alone. I cleaned the kitchen. I waited for Natalie. She arrived at 8 p.m. The kids were in bed. Lauren was in the bedroom with the door locked. Natalie looked at the closed door. Looked at me. She knows. She knows. Are you okay? No. But I will be. She held me. Just held me. No words. No advice. Just her arms around me, steady and warm. That night, I slept on the couch. Lauren slept in the bedroom. Natalie went home. The next morning, I called Susan. Start the divorce proceedings. I'm done waiting. Finally, Susan said, I was wondering when you'd come to your senses. I hung up. Walked to the bedroom. knocked on the door. Lauren, we need to talk. The door opened. Her eyes were red, puffy. She looked like she hadn't slept. I want a divorce, I said. She didn't fight it, didn't beg, didn't cry. She just nodded.
Fine.
Susan will send you the papers. I'm keeping the house. I'm keeping the kids. You can have visitation. On what grounds? Infidelity. I have 18 months of documentation. Hotel receipts. Credit card statements. Photos. Recordings. You can fight it, or you can sign. Your choice. She stared at me. For the first time, I saw fear in her eyes. You planned this. I planned to survive. You planned to replace me. There's a difference. I walked away. Didn't look back. The divorce took 4 months. Lauren didn't fight. She couldn't. I had too much evidence. Her lawyer advised her to take the deal. She signed everything. The house. The kids. The retirement accounts. Everything except her car and her clothes. She moved into a small apartment across town. Chris didn't move with her. He had moved on to someone else, a younger woman from his gym. Lauren was alone. My mother called me the day after the divorce was final. Daniel, you need to forgive her. No, I don't. She's your wife, the mother of your children. She was my wife. She chose to destroy that. And you helped her. Silence. I was trying to be supportive, Carol said. You were trying to be her friend. Not my mother. You chose her over me. Just like Rachel chose her over me. That's not fair. Fair? You told me I was being dramatic when I said I didn't want my wife sleeping with other men. You told me marriage was about compromise. You told me to accept it. I was wrong. Yes, you were. And now you get to live with the consequences. What consequences? You'll see. I hung up. Didn't answer her next 5 calls. Rachel texted me. Mom is upset. You need to call her.
Irraplia, no.
Rachel, she's your mother. Me. And I was a son. She forgot that. Now I'm forgetting her. Rachel didn't respond. The next few weeks were quiet. Too quiet. I focused on the kids. On work. On Natalie. On rebuilding a life that didn't include people who had betrayed me. Tyler took the divorce hard. He was 15. Old enough to understand. Old enough to blame Lauren. He stopped visiting her. Stopped answering her calls. I didn't encourage it. But I didn't stop it either. Hannah was 12. She missed her mother. But she also saw what happened. Saw how Lauren chose Chris over the family. Saw how Grandma and Aunt Rachel sided with Lauren. She was young, but she wasn't blind. Natalie moved in 6 months after the divorce. Slow. Gentle. She didn't try to replace Lauren. She just fit. The kids liked her. She helped with homework. Made pancakes on Sundays. Watched movies with us on Friday nights. I wasn't in love with her. Not yet. But I was getting there. And Lauren? Lauren was alone. Her mother and sister still supported her, but they couldn't fill the hole she had dug. Chris was gone. Her friends had drifted away. She had the open marriage she wanted, and no one to share it with. She called me on Christmas Eve, crying, Daniel, I made a mistake. A huge mistake. I miss you. I miss the kids. I miss our family. It's too late, Lauren. Please, just think about it. For the kids. I have thought about it. For 18 months, I thought about nothing else. You made your choice. Now you get to live with it. I hung up, turned off my phone, walked into the living room. Natalie was on the couch, wrapped in a blanket, watching a movie with Hannah. Tyler was on the floor with the dog. I sat down next to Natalie. She leaned into me. Warm. Present. Loyal. This was my family now. Not the one I was born into. The one I built. And I would protect it with everything I had. The year after the divorce was the year I took everything back. Not through violence. Not through illegal schemes. Through patience. Through planning. through the slow, steady work of building something new while watching the people who betrayed me watch their own lives crumble. I didn't seek revenge. I didn't have to. The universe has a way of handling people who make selfish choices. My job was simply to stay out of the way and let gravity do its work. But I didn't just stay out of the way. I helped gravity along. Just a little. Lauren's life after the divorce was exactly what she deserved. Quiet. Lonely. Empty. She had asked for an open marriage so she could explore and find herself. What she found was that men like Chris don't want a 40-year-old divorced mother of two. They want fun. They want easy. They want no responsibility. Chris dropped her 2 weeks after the divorce was final. He found a 26-year-old yoga instructor who didn't have kids or baggage or a mortgage. Lauren was devastated. She called me crying. I didn't answer. She tried dating apps. Went on a dozen first dates. A few second dates. No third dates. The men she met were either boring, married, or looking for something she couldn't give them. She lost weight. Not the healthy kind. The stress kind. Her hair thinned. Her skin looked grey. She stopped taking care of herself. Her real estate career suffered. She missed appointments. Forgot to return client calls. Her broker put her on probation. 6 months later, she was fired. She moved out of her nice apartment into a small studio near the highway. The kind of place with thin walls and no parking and a landlord who didn't speak English. She called me again. Begging. Daniel, please. I need money. I can't afford my rent. The kids need. The kids are fine. They have everything they need. You gave up the right to ask me for help when you asked to sleep with other men. I made a mistake. Yes, you did. And now you're living with it. I hung up. I didn't feel bad. I had spent 18 months feeling bad. Feeling guilty. Feeling like I wasn't enough. Now I felt nothing. And nothing was better than feeling like a fool. Lauren's mother, Carol, tried to help her. Sent her money. Bought her groceries. Let her stay on the couch for a few weeks. But even Carol had limits. Lauren was depressed. Angry. Blamed everyone but herself. She told Carol that I was the reason her life was ruined. That I should have fought for the marriage. That I should have been more understanding. Carol called me after one of their fights. Daniel, she's not well. She needs help. Then get her help. She has insurance. She has a car. She can find a therapist. She needs a family. She had a family. She threw it away. You helped her throw it away. Don't come to me now looking for sympathy. That's harsh. Life is harsh. She taught me that. I hung up. Carol didn't call again for a long time. By the end of the year, Lauren had lost her real estate license. She was working at a clothing store in the mall, making minimum wage, living in a studio apartment that smelled like cigarettes and regret. She saw the kids every other weekend. Sometimes. When she wasn't too tired. Too sad. Too hungover. Tyler stopped going altogether. He was 16 now. He had his own car. His own friends. His own life. He didn't want to spend his weekends watching his mother fall apart. Hannah still went. Out of guilt. Out of duty. But she came home crying more often than not. I didn't force them to see her. I didn't stop them either. They had to make their own choices. Just like their mother made hers. My mother, Carol, was 68 years old. A widow. Living alone in the house where I grew up. She had always been the matriarch. The one everyone went to for advice. The one who held the family together. But after she sided with Lauren, something changed. The family didn't feel like a family anymore. Rachel stopped coming over as much. My father's side of the family, aunts, uncles, cousins, heard what happened. They didn't approve. A mother should never side with a daughter-in-law over her own son. That was the rule. The unwritten rule. The one Carol broke. Thanksgiving came. I didn't go to her house. Neither did Tyler or Hannah. We had our own Thanksgiving. Just the three of us, plus Natalie. Small. Quiet. Peaceful. Carol called me the next day. You weren't at dinner. I wasn't invited. Of course you were invited. You're always invited. You didn't call. You didn't text. You just assumed I would show up. Like nothing happened. Like you didn't tell me I was being dramatic for not wanting my wife to cheat on me. I apologized for that.
No.
You said you were wrong. That's not an apology. That's an admission. There's a difference. What do you want me to say? I want you to say that you betrayed me. That you chose Lauren over your own son. That you watched her destroy our family and you helped her do it. Silence. I can't say that. Then we have nothing to talk about. I hung up. Carol called Rachel. Rachel called me. Mom is heartbroken, Rachel said. Good. She's your mother. I know. And I was her son. She forgot that. Now I'm forgetting her. You're being cruel. I learned from the best. Rachel hung up. I didn't call back. Christmas came. Same story. No visit.
No gifts.
No phone call. Carol sent the kids presents. Tyler's gift was returned unopened. Hannah kept hers, a sweater, but she didn't wear it. She left it in the back of her closet. I heard through Rachel that Carol had started drinking. Not heavily, but enough. A glass of wine at lunch. 2 glasses at dinner. Then 3. She had always been a light drinker. A social drinker. Now she drank alone. Her health declined. She stopped going to her bridge club. Stopped seeing her friends. She spent most days in her robe, watching television, waiting for the phone to ring. It didn't ring. Not from me. Rachel was 40 years old. Married with 2 kids of her own. She lived in the same neighborhood as Carol, in a big house with a pool and a 3-car garage. On the surface, she had a perfect life. But surfaces lie. Her husband, Mike, was a salesman. He traveled a lot. When he was home, he was distant. Cold. Critical. Rachel had confided in Lauren about her marriage problems. That's how they became close. That's why Rachel sided with Lauren when the open marriage request came. You deserve to be happy, Rachel told Lauren. Just like I deserve to be happy. But Rachel wasn't happy. And watching Lauren implode made her question everything. A year after the divorce, Mike asked for a separation. He had met someone else. A woman in Dallas. Someone younger. Prettier. More successful. Rachel was blindsided. She called me, crying. Daniel, Mike is leaving me. He found someone else. I didn't say anything. Daniel, are you there? I'm here. Aren't you going to say something? What do you want me to say? You told Lauren she deserved to be happy. You told me I was being dramatic for not wanting my wife to sleep with other men. Now your husband is sleeping with another woman. How does it feel? That's not fair. Life isn't fair. Lauren taught me that. You taught me that. She hung up. I didn't call back. Rachel tried to save her marriage. Counseling. Date nights. Vacations. Nothing worked. Mike filed for divorce 6 months later. Rachel got the house, the car, and the kids. But she didn't get happiness. She lost weight. Started drinking. Her kids stopped listening to her. Her friends drifted away. She called Carol every day. Crying. Complaining. Blaming. Carol couldn't help her. Carol could barely help herself. The 2 of them, mother and daughter, sat in their separate houses, alone, miserable, wondering where it all went wrong. While Lauren, Carol, and Rachel fell apart, I built something new. Natalie and I grew closer. We weren't rushing toward marriage. We didn't need to. We had something better than a piece of paper. We had trust, respect, loyalty. She moved into the house full time. The kids adjusted. Tyler called her National, Hannah called her Natalie. Neither of them called her Mom. That was fine. She wasn't trying to replace Lauren. She was just being herself. I started a new business. A small architecture firm. Just me and 2 employees at first. Then 4. Then 6. We specialized in sustainable design, eco-friendly homes, solar installations, green building materials. The business took off. Within 2 years, we had more clients than we could handle. I was making more money than I had ever made at my old job. I bought a new car. A truck. Something practical. Something I had always wanted. I started traveling. Nothing extravagant. Just weekend trips. The mountains. The coast. Places I had never seen because Lauren didn't like to fly. I ran a marathon. Finished in 4 hours and 12 minutes. Not fast. But I finished. That was the point. I went to therapy every week. Dr. Ellis kept me grounded. Kept me from becoming bitter. Kept me focused on the future instead of the past. You're doing well, he said one session. Better than most. Most. Most men in your situation stay angry. They let the betrayal define them. They become the victim. You became something else. What did I become? Free. I thought about that word. Free. It wasn't a word I had ever associated with myself. I was a husband. A father. A son. A brother. Always tied to someone. Always responsible for someone else's happiness. Now I was just me. Daniel. Not Lauren's husband. Not Carol's son. Not Rachel's brother. Just Daniel. And Daniel was free. 2 years after the divorce, I got a call from Carol. She was in the hospital. A heart attack. Minor, but serious enough to scare her. Rachel called too, begging me to come. Daniel, please. She's asking for you. She's scared. She needs a son. I thought about it. Long and hard. Then I said no. I'm not her son. Not anymore. She made that choice when she chose Lauren over me. She was wrong. She knows that now. She's apologized. She apologized for being wrong. That's not the same as apologizing for the betrayal. What's the difference? The difference is accountability. She's sorry she got caught. She's not sorry she did it. Rachel started crying. Please. Just come. Just once. For me. You sided with her. You both chose Lauren. You both watched my marriage die and you helped kill it. I don't owe you anything. I'm your sister. You were my sister. Now you're a stranger who shares my blood. I hung up. Didn't answer the next 10 calls. I didn't go to the hospital. Carol stayed for 3 days. No visitors except Rachel.
No flowers.
No cards. When she got out, she went home to an empty house. Rachel couldn't stay. She had her own problems. Carol sat alone in her living room, staring at photos of a family that no longer existed. She had one child who still spoke to her. One son who was dead to her. That was her legacy. A broken family of her own making. And she had no one to blame but herself. Natalie and I got married 6 months ago. Small ceremony. Just my brother Tom and his wife, a few friends from work, and the kids. No drama. No family. Just people who loved us. Tyler was my best man. Hannah was Natalie's maid of honor. It was perfect. We bought a new house. Bigger than the old one. Closer to the kids' school. A pool in the backyard. A garden that Natalie plants every spring. The business is thriving. 15 employees now. We are working on a development project that will bring affordable housing to low-income families. It's meaningful work. Work that matters. Tyler is 18 now. He's at UT Austin, studying engineering. He lives in a dorm. Calls me every Sunday. Comes home for holidays. He doesn't talk about Lauren. Not to me. Not to Hannah. When I asked him once, he said, "She's not my mom anymore. She lost that right." I didn't argue. He's entitled to his feelings. Hannah is 15. She's in high school. Plays soccer. Has good friends. Gets good grades. She still sees Lauren sometimes. Once a month, for lunch. She comes home quiet. Sad. But she goes anyway. She's still my mom, Hannah told me once. Even if she made bad choices. I told her I respected that. And I do. Hannah has a good heart. Better than mine. Natalie is the stepmom they never expected. She doesn't push. Doesn't try to replace Lauren. She's just there. For homework. For soccer games. For late night talks about boys and school and the future. Tyler called her mom once. By accident. Natalie didn't correct him. She just smiled. A month ago, I got a call from the hospital. Carol had fallen. broken her hip. She was in surgery. Rachel was there. She asked if I would come. I thought about it for a long time. Then I went. Not because I forgave her. Not because I wanted to see her. Because I wanted to close a door that had been open too long. She was in a bed. Small. Pale. Old. The machines beeped. The monitors blinked. She looked nothing like the woman who raised me. "Daniel," she whispered. "You came." I came to say goodbye. Tears rolled down her cheeks. "I am sorry. I'm so sorry. I was wrong. I should have supported you. I should have told Lauren to stop. I should have. You should have been my mother. But you weren't. You were her friend. Her supporter. Her cheerleader. You stood beside the woman who destroyed my marriage and told me I was the problem." "I know. I know." "Good. Then you understand why I can't forgive you." She closed her eyes. More tears. "I understand." I stood up. Walked to the door. "Take care of yourself, Carol." I didn't call her Mom. She didn't deserve that name anymore. I walked out. Didn't look back. She died 3 weeks later. Rachel called to tell me. I listened. I said, "Thank you for letting me know." Then I hung up. I didn't go to the funeral. Neither did Tyler or Hannah. Tom went. He said it was small. A few neighbors. Rachel. Nobody else. Carol was buried next to my father. A man who would have been ashamed of her. A man who would have never sided with a daughter-in-law over his own son. I don't visit the grave. I don't need to. The woman buried there wasn't my mother. Not at the end. People ask me if I got my revenge. I tell them yes. But not the kind they think. My revenge wasn't about destroying Lauren or Carol or Rachel. My revenge was about building something they couldn't touch. A life so full, so happy, so complete that their absence didn't matter. My revenge was waking up every morning next to a woman who loves me, who chose me, who never asked for permission to be with anyone else. My revenge was watching my children grow into good people, kind people, people who understand loyalty and betrayal and the difference between the two. My revenge was walking into my office every day and building something that matters. That helps people. That makes the world a little better than I found it. My revenge was forgiving myself. For not seeing the signs. For staying too long. For believing in someone who didn't deserve it. That's the thing about revenge. The best revenge isn't about making the other person suffer. It's about making yourself happy. So happy that they become irrelevant. Lauren is irrelevant. Carol is irrelevant. Rachel is irrelevant. They exist somewhere out there, in their small apartments and falling down houses, wondering where it all went wrong. But I don't wonder. I know where it went wrong. It went wrong the day my wife asked for an open marriage and my mother and sister told me to accept it. That was the day they lost me. Not because I left. Because they pushed me away. I'm sitting on my back porch as I finish this. The sun is setting over the hills. Tyler is inside, working on a college application. Hannah is doing homework at the kitchen table. Natalie is making dinner, something with chicken and rosemary that smells incredible. Gus the golden retriever is asleep at my feet. The same Gus who saw everything. The late nights. The fights. The silence. Dogs don't judge. They just stay. I've been thinking a lot about family. What it means. What it doesn't mean. I used to think family was everything. The people who raised you. The people who shared your blood. The people who would never turn their backs on you no matter what. I was wrong. Family isn't about blood. It's about choice. About loyalty. About showing up when it matters. My mother chose Lauren over me. My sister chose Lauren over me. They chose a woman who wanted to sleep with other men over a son and brother who wanted to keep his marriage together. That wasn't loyalty. That was betrayal. And betrayal has consequences. If you're reading this and going through something similar, if your family has betrayed you, if your spouse has asked for something you can't give, if you feel alone and angry and lost, I see you. You can survive this. Not by getting even. Not by destroying them. By building yourself. Focus on your children. Your work. Your health. Your future. Let the people who hurt you fade into the background. They don't deserve your anger. They don't deserve your tears. They don't deserve your attention. They deserve nothing. And that's exactly what you should give them. It won't happen overnight. It took me 3 years to get here. 3 years of therapy. 3 years of running. 3 years of rebuilding. But I got here. And you can too. One step at a time. One day at a time. One room painted blue at a time. I'm not the man I used to be. The man who trusted too easily. Who stayed too long. Who believed that family meant forever. I'm someone else now. Someone harder. Someone wiser. Someone free. My name is Daniel. I'm 45 years old. I live in Austin, Texas. I have 2 children, a wife who loves me, and a golden retriever who doesn't care about any of this. And I am finally, completely, absolutely free. Wrong. They never connected the dots. Never realized that their betrayal of me had set something in motion. A chain of consequences that none of them could escape. But I realized it. I saw it clearly. When you betray family, you don't just hurt them. You hurt yourself. You break something inside yourself that can't be fixed. You become the kind of person who betrays. And that person attracts betrayal in return. Lauren betrayed me. Then Chris betrayed Lauren. Rachel betrayed me. Then Mike betrayed Rachel. Carol betrayed me. Then her own family, her health, her happiness, her peace, betrayed her. It wasn't magic. It wasn't karma. It was just cause and effect. The natural order of things. And I watched it all from a safe distance. Not gloating. Not celebrating. Just observing. Like a scientist watching an experiment.